Welcome to the Sports Show. Mike Max, Patrick Racy, Brian Lawton, and Sid Hartman. Brian Lawton with his playoff beard, man. All right. NHL. Where do you want to start? Twins go pick up a big bat, lose 2 out of 3 to a terrible team. You want to start there?
Well, I think it was a good move. They needed to do something, and they didn't have to give up the draft choice. And as far as the pull-ads go, they would spend almost anything to have a winning team. Pull-ads aren't very happy, I don't think, with how this club is playing. I mean, they're not drawing like they
I don't think
were.
they're happy with attendance. I don't know if how they're playing is part of it, but I don't think they're happy with attendance.
200,000 behind last year, and they're encouraging to go. Bob especially, I think, is encouraging to try and put a winning team on the field.
Patrick?
You're bad-mouthing those Astros, man. They're 17-9 since May 11th. They got some young guys who can hit the ball out of the park. They're, third in the American National League in home runs or something. But
they're tough to watch, though.
Deduno was horrendous today, and then the rest of them came in. But, yeah, it's you know, they're going to try to win some games this summer and hang around 500 and hope people don't get too down on them, and maybe Kendrys Morales can knock in some runs. You know, he had that silly accident in 2011 when he jumped on home plate and broke his leg and missed, or 2010, missed the whole 2011. But he had 45 home runs the last 2 years, so he can hit.
How do you make decisions on something like that? Or do those look really appealing to get into a bidding war for a guy like that because you don't give anything up?
Well, it's not easy. By chance, I ran into Paul Molitor this morning at Starbucks, and we had a nice conversation, and hopefully things can get going a little better. It's a disappointment so far. It's such a beautiful stadium out there. It's such a great experience. I've spent many nights down at Champions Club there and just absolutely enjoy being down there. But until you have that consistent winning, I think it's going to drag down the franchise.
Would you like to be in management in the Major League Baseball rules where there is no salary cap or not? Or would that just depend on what franchise you're with, and it's actually prohibitive if you're the Twins?
Yeah, for the Twins, obviously. It's not the same as the Yankees or the big market team. Obviously, we see what the Dodgers have done. But I would not mind the concept of no salary cap. Of course, they have a luxury tax, but, it's different.
Revenue sharing, and Yankees $50 million are thrown in the pot, so that's just almost the same thing as
but it's not.
It's not a problem. Look at Oakland. It's not a problem, right? Look at the standings. Everybody's the same. Baseball's got more parity than any other sport. What's the problem? I don't know what people are whining about.
The problem is the same for everybody.
Yeah, you got to get the right players. You got to get the right players. Well, you can't get the right players without spending $200 million, in my opinion. I don't think that's a problem at all. It was right after they lost the lockout in '94. It was, but people have discovered more creative ways to put rosters together. I don't think it's a problem. I like the fact baseball doesn't have a salary cap.
Do you like their pitching staff?
Well, Deduno, I think you're just bashing your head against the wall with him, and Correa's not very good, but it's better than it was. I mean, last year it was, Vance Worley and Pedro Hernandez were making starts for you, so it's better. It's better, but it's not world class. I'm a little worried about the bullpen right now. Jared Burton stinks. Swarzak isn't what he was. That was supposed to be a strength, and that looks a little shaky right now.
Yeah, that was the whole. The commitment was we get some starters because the bullpen's going to be fine. That was kind of the thinking going in.
Well, but bullpens, I think, are like goaltenders. They're year to year,
He tried Steven struggling a little bit. Some of their aces are losing once in a while. Verlander, for a while, he would never lose a game. What's the other guy's name?
Scherzer.
He was the same way. Now they're not as winning-wise as they've been. They're not as dominating. The White Sox are better. They're winning some games. They got that Cuban player who's done a good job for them. They came up with some pitching. Like he said, it's parity in the whole league is what it is.
Oakland's the best team in the league, which is amazing because it's just kind of throw everything at the wall. They have about 4 stars, and then they just fit pieces in. So it's
Did you ever study Billy Beane, Brian, as a management guy?
I have. I've read Moneyball. I do believe that people can do a better job in hockey today. It's not, everybody says the same thing, it's not as conducive. But most of the teams don't use analytics properly in the National Hockey League. I think, interestingly, the Minnesota Wild have used it
He
more
lost
recently.
two of his best starters, Tommy John surgery, Oakland did.
Yep.
They still keep on
Yeah.
winning. And he keeps on losing players, free agents. They don't keep a lot of their free agents, and he keeps on winning.
That's what we were just talking about. Analytics, though, you think every sport can apply it, or does it only depend on the sport?
No, I think all the sports could use it better. I think
Some basketball
baseball's-
teams use it now a lot.
Yeah, basketball is very heavy into it. And really what's coming now is not only, it's analytics, but it's the expansion of video and being able to track players and to really gain new levels of information.
That's
That's
what
kind of
Icebrow
the next
told me. He
wave.
said that was the big changer in hockey, was just that video that you could access that you couldn't before.
You talk about the video. I think I mentioned one other time. For the first time this year, NFL is going to have iCams. With,
What's an iCam?
What do they call it? You know what I'm talking about.
helmet cans.
Helmet cam.
They're going to have,
Johnny Manziel's got his own helmet cam wherever he goes 24 hours
instead
a
of
day. I heard.
bringing the paper sheets,
They can look at video?
yeah,
iPad.
have everything on video.
iPads. Okay, I
iPad.
knew it was there
Okay.
somewhere. Stay with us
Everything
the
on
sports
video.
show.
That'll be
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King. For the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. And Soundpoint Audiology. Life is worth hearing.
Quality. It's the result of shared values. The joy found in an honest day's work. Respect for true American craftsmanship and the need, not the want, to get things right. It's the result of remembering your roots, being forever humbled by how far you've traveled and forever hungry to push on further. Quality is a result. Quality is who we are. Cambria. Family owned, American made.
The Father's Day Suit Event. Right now at K&G, 100% wool suits are just $99.99. Plus select designer suits are $199.99. Buy one, get two free. The Father's Day Suit Event at K&G. K&G.
It's the meal of the day at Subway. Now get a 6-inch sub, chips, and a 21-ounce drink for just $5.50, featuring a different 6-inch sub each day, like the turkey breast and Black Forest ham on Monday, the spicy Italian on Tuesday, the tempting turkey breast on Wednesday, the Italian BMT on Thursday, or the tantalizing tuna on Friday. It's the $5.50 meal of the day, all day, every day at Subway.
This is Mia's new Honda CR-V. The same car that will let the world know that she loves rock and roll. With the Econ button that will help her save a little gas when she sees that same barn house the second time.
Hey, Dad, it's
And
me.
the Bluetooth that will assure her she can always move back home and pay rent.
Okay, Dad.
Start something special now with the CR-V from KBB.com's most trusted car brand. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
The Father's Day Suit Event. Right now at K&G, 100% wool suits are just $99.99. Plus select designer suits are $199.99. Buy one, get two free. The Father's Day Suit Event at K&G. K&G.
Audi A4 drivers have spoken. And they rank the A4 highest in Total Quality Index in its class. Experience the new Audi A4 at your local dealer today.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines, that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Looking for a nice, big, juicy rack of ribs?
Fabulous chops, huge steaks, and the Buddy Bowl? Then J.D. Hoyt's is the place for you. Hoyt's opened in 1983, and Mike Andrews and his partner John White have kept this Minnesota tradition at the top of the food chain. Managing owner Pat Montague gives us a tour.
At J.D. Hoyt's, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, great food, friendly service, private dining room, second-to-none happy hour, and great outdoor dining, just blocks from the new ballpark.
Located at 394 in North Washington. Locally owned, nationally known. Hoyt's.
Yeah, I would think that.
Locally owned, nationally known, J.D. Hoyt's. Stop on by when you get to downtown Minneapolis. Pay them a visit. You won't be disappointed before a game. Timberwolves, after an extensive, exhaustive search, Flip Saunders came up with himself as coach.
There was no search. That's just a dream. I told you guys from the start there was no chance that he was going to coach. That's all. And he made a big thing out of that Memphis thing. I never offered him the job. The big trouble is that ESPN and all these guys, they come up with stuff that never run a correction. I mean, they had him all set for here, wasn't even close to being set.
Memphis Coach Yeager, you mean?
Huh?
Coach Yeager, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a theory.
He said if he could get the one guy, they're not going to pay a guy like that $8 or $10 million a year.
He wasn't going to get an
That's what they're
experienced
gonna have
guy.
to pay him.
Brian, what do you say?
My theory is that I think there's a chance we could see the team sold, and that Flip is maybe just a placeholder. I don't have anything to base it on. It's just a theory.
You can keep the salary down to the coach, or
just
give people some flexibility
maybe
to name a
there's
new coach?
Until maybe there's a transition of ownership, and let them figure out who the new coach will be.
Interesting, Patrick.
It's a wild theory.
I think it is a wild theory. I don't know. Glenn's spending money across the hall there. I know Sid's not on board this, but I think Kevin Love will be gone before the draft starts.
I do too.
No way.
That it'll be Golden State, and you get a couple of good players, and I think Love will be out of there. Yep.
No way will Love be gone.
The Lone Warrior. All you had to do is listen to the press conference.
How many times did you get out?
And when he said the Lone Warrior, what he's saying is basically Kevin Love only cares about himself.
And he's saying that I can't convince Kevin Love to stay.
Here's your problem. He wants to go to a winning team.
Yep.
The winning team's got salary caps. They're going to have to get rid of somebody pretty good.
Let's they trade back.
To pay him.
Right?
Yeah.
How they're still going to be good.
Well, Golden State wants to get rid of Lee, so he's making a lot of money, and then they give you Klay Thompson and Harrison Barnes, and you give them Kevin Martin, and everybody's happy.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll happen.
Brian, what do you think?
I don't think anybody's going to get Love if they don't take Kevin Martin.
Probably right.
I think they want to get rid of Kevin Martin bad.
And that's what you do. You package up what you're not happy with.
Okay, let me ask you a philosophical question. Whose job is it to keep a superstar happy?
I think it's the entire organization, but it starts at the top with ownership.
But there's
really
no
does.
league like the NBA where it's required to keep the superstar. It's the only league where it's required to keep the superstar happy.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
And really, that was Flip's entire job this year, was to forge a relationship with Kevin Love so that Love felt good about his future here, and it didn't happen.
Here's your trouble. This city, for some reason, loses more superstars than anybody.
But you can't say that because Adrian Peterson signed an extension. Zach Parisi and Ryan Suter came
Adrian Peterson.
Joe Mauer signed an extension.
I know. Joe Mauer, how could he turn down that deal?
Well, but my
Nobody
point is,
else would give
they
him
have lost some, but they've kept a lot of them too.
I know the Yankees would have never given him that money. I know the
Okay, that's one person, but I'm just saying not all superstars.
Barnett
leave
stayed
it.
here 10 years.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, how many you want, you know?
Yeah.
I do think Kevin Love will be gone, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I agree with Patrick before the draft because there's no upside to letting this thing go on unless you think you can squeeze somebody.
No, it needed to be solved by this time, or to.
Does that when
next
you've got
phase.
a guy that really can decide where he goes too, because he can just tell you I'm going to play out the contract and go somewhere else. Is it?
No, they can trade him.
No, they can trade him, but I'm saying he becomes less attractive if some team says, well, you're going to sign an extension with us, and he says, no way.
Yeah.
He has
exactly
a lot
right.
of control.
Oh,
no
yeah,
one's
he
going to
does.
trade for him.
But
Correctly,
can you still
Mike, what
extract
you're
as much
saying.
value as you want or not? Because there's so many bidders, because these guys like this don't come up
The way
often?
I think you handle this is you go to the guy, and when he won't sign on the dotted line, is you ask him for 3 or 4 teams that you unequivocally would go to, and then you send it to him in writing to make sure that he doesn't change his mind. And I'm dead serious
But then you
about
lose
that.
5 draft choices like they did. They can't make under-the-table
Well,
deals.
No. You can get a player to commit that he wants to go somewhere. That's
You say,
not,
just let me know where you want to go so I don't
Yes,
waste my time.
Exactly. And let's make sure that we're both crystal clear on where those destinations are.
Well,
and you
Rubio
really
was quoted in Spain today saying he's a little nervous now.
He's nervous if Love goes?
Yep. You got to get him too. You got to get Love. You got to get Rubio taken care of what next year too, right?
Yeah, although I don't know.
I don't think they're going to break his doors down.
Rubio.
Yeah. I mean, and as far as Love goes, look at all the games he's missed. He's got bad knees.
Well,
and he's.
I understand that, but I saw what happened when Kevin Garnett got traded to Boston. They won the championship, and the Timberwolves have been like this ever since. When you got a superstar, when you got the big fish in the boat, you don't throw it back in the water.
I think Garnett's a little better player than Love was.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I think you put him with a few superstars, it doesn't matter either one. of them. Take a break, come back, stay with us in the sports show.
I think.
Attention, please get a pencil. Announcing a hearing breakthrough, a microchip that is so small it can fit on the head of a pen, worn hidden entirely in your ear canal, making you hear clear as a bell. And it's proudly made in the USA. Do you feel left out of conversations? Is it difficult to hear words in noisy environments? Do others say that you listen to the TV or radio too loudly? Do you feel like a bother to others due to your problems hearing? If you answered yes, you may qualify for this new chip in the ear. Only 50 participants are needed to try this microchip, so get a pencil. Call now to see if you qualify. This revolutionary chip actually mimics the natural sound selection of the human ear. With multi-core microprocessors, technology used in the most advanced computers, sounds are analyzed and classified each millisecond, controlling noise and making speech clear. Do not wait. Call now to see if you qualify to wear this revolutionary new microchip.
I have evidence that proves my dad's a space alien. Speaks a weird language. Drinks green stuff. He says he's from Albuquerque. I'm not buying it. I mean, just look at him. And one more thing. He has a spaceship. The evidence doesn't lie. My dad's an alien.
The highly advanced Audi A6, named to car and drivers 10 best. Experience exceptional value on the Audi A6 at your local dealer today.
There it is, Audi Minneapolis, 394 on General Mills Boulevard. Take a drive and go out in an A4. It's just a beautiful vehicle.
Okay, who read the NFL Super Bowl story in the Star Tribune today? They're not even going to pay for their own bowling. They won't even pay for their own bowling.
Is there a chance to order?
Blood-sucking leeches that they are. Unbelievable. What a bunch of scumbags.
Let's put it this way. They bought the Super Bowl. Nobody would have given what they give. And if you think it's all there yet, you're nuts. There's a lot more there. 35,000 parking spots. How much?
We don't have it. How many do we have in the Twin Cities?
I don't know, man. I didn't do anything like that.
I mean, the whole picture, $40 million in cash.
Jeepers.
Every nickel, every ticket sold goes to the NFL. Every nickel.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, all the police they want. They're going to have to hire 30, 40, 50, 100 more police.
Well,
that's why Tom Benson didn't get it, because he would not give them all that.
How about the free hotels rooms? They don't pay for any hotels. The NFL, nor the teams, nor the owners of the other teams, or they get hundreds of free hotel rooms, suites.
Well, I guess the answer is, Brian, they got somebody to take the Super Bowl and take the deal, so they must be doing something right.
Yeah, exactly. It felt very Olympic-ish.
It was that bad. It felt like the Olympics.
It felt like it was encroaching that way. And obviously that was not supposed to come out.
I can't.
It wasn't supposed to be discovered by the Star Tribune as it was, but it's embarrassing in my opinion.
I can't believe any other Super Bowl team has ever met those demands. Never.
Well, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I don't know what goes on in these things.
How
Like
about
Brian
the
said.
summer golf tournaments? 6 months before the event, they want to come to town and use Interlochen and Minnetonka and Woodhill, and they want to use your good golf courses to have a golf tournament.
Like
Does that
I
mean I'm
said,
paying for part of it?
they won. The Wolves came up with plenty of money too.
So do you still win if you're in Minneapolis in this deal?
Pardon me?
Do you still win if you're in Minneapolis with that deal?
Do you win? I don't know what you mean by that.
Is it still a good enough proposition that you come out ahead?
I don't know if it is or not. I don't think so. I think they've got a new stadium. You want that and all that stuff. You want that thing to be a big success in that new stadium so they can get a lot of other events. They can say, we held a Super Bowl in Minneapolis. Everything is good. The seats are great. The sight lines are great. Everything is great. The next thing you know, they're going
in
to
Lake
find
Calhoun, it's terrific.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Mike, these things have been going on for a long time,
It just keeps getting more and
It
more.
keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's just as prevalent for All-Star games.
I think it was
no
only about
mistake.
10 years ago they started making you give the owners free hotel rooms, and then they said, well, they'll do this.
They'll do
for us,
that, huh?
We'll do this. We'll do this pretty soon.
Yeah, it's out of control though, and you hope that maybe this is that bell to pull it back.
This has got to give baseball an idea, though. The set site World Series, where you
bid on it.
You go into these towns now. They're not getting free stuff. They're going to this town for twice and trying to get hotel rooms because they don't know where they're going to be. You put it in one location for 10 days, you could extract a whole lot of money out of that city.
To put it in perspective, my wife left today. She's going to the Stanley Cup final with Willie Mitchell's wife and Aaron Andrews, who we all know, of course. And so they're traveling from LA, and they are paying for tickets, and it's probably going to cost the three girls a couple $1,000 to go to the game.
Yeah.
So, these are how those things are born out of. And at some point, players wake up and say, my goodness, I'm playing in the Stanley Cup finals. I want, some friends to come out and watch it. It's costing me a couple $1,000 a night. It's, it feels abusive to some of the players, that's for sure.
Here's another thing. The great governor had this big press conference about the Final Four. They've never had a Final Four any place unless they'd had 2 or 3 preliminary rounds there so they know everything that works. So they got no chance to get a Final Four in 2018.
Well, but
I think
they've
already said now that it's 19 or 20, I think.
But now that they're playing those preliminary rounds in smaller arenas, you might not have to do that anymore.
They got to play preliminary.
One. I think
look
they
at
play one right
Look at Indianapolis. With the NCAA there, they just got locked up the Big Ten football championship forever.
Yeah.
They got
talk about a scam. Indianapolis, man, they get whatever they want.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Mike. I mean, sports has never been hotter.
Oh,
Obviously,
God,
with the Donald
amazing.
Sterling fiasco and how it's ending up, it's incredible. It really, truly is incredible.
That might be
That's
the biggest game changer we've seen in 10 years. Is that
for something so horrific?
I mean, for all sports.
Yes, for something so horrific and how it's ending up financially, it's really a game changer.
Take a break. Come back. Sports Show. Stay with us.
If you guys could go on a free shopping spree anywhere, where would you go? I'd go to the grocery store. Pizza, ice cream. I'd go shop for clothes. You know where I go? I'd go to Ticket King. Ticket King! At Ticket King, you can buy great seats for the Vikings, Christian Ponder, the Wild, Zach Parise, the Timberwolves, Ricky Rubio, and of course the Twins. We love the Twins. Yes, this is where I go. Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Gophers, theater, and concerts too. Justin Bieber! Hey, I like him first. For details, go to TicketKingOnline.com. Any ticket, anytime, anywhere. It's the real thing. It's Ticket King. Right, Dad?
Couldn't have said it any better myself.
That's for sure.
Main Street is filled with hopes and dreams. The only thing you need is the right partner. The beacon of light that shines that says we are in this together. That is Beacon Bank. Locally owned and community committed. They understand what you need. And they are your personal answer. Your friend in business and in life. Allow the folks at Beacon Bank to be a part of your life because they make dreams come true. Beacon Bank, it's a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Beacon Bank, check them out. Bob Weiss and staff doing outstanding work. Perfect time to refi on that home. Check out Beacon Bank, or if you need to get into the commercial business, Beacon Bank today. But real quickly, back to the Flip Saunders thing. For him to be the president and the coach, does that surprise you at all? That he'd have that dual role? No, when you were with the Lakers, you stayed away from coaching because you thought that would be too much.
I drafted every single guy, signed every single guy.
But you didn't coach him.
The coach had very little to say about who he had.
Do you think that's a better system?
And do you think Popovich at San Antonio doesn't have complete control? You think there's any doubt about that?
Right.
Okay. He's got the same deal that San Antonio's got.
So you just got to execute it.
And I think he can do a good job doing it. I think he knows personnel. 8 years in a row they went to the playoffs while he was there. They haven't been to the playoffs since.
I do think he'll do a great job. I really do.
You
I
think
think
the dual
Flip
role
is.
is tough?
Yeah, I do. I think that Flip is. He's a real quality person, and I think he's a very astute. He'll be a very astute executive and coach for them.
Modern sports, though, boy, that's as much business as there is to do now. I don't know how you do both of them, man.
You get some good help around you. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Well,
you really have to.
That. I don't know Milt Newton well enough to know if he's a Cracker Jack GM or not. I don't know.
If he's there just to understand what Flip wants.
Babcock got as much to say as Newton has, and Babcock's pretty sharp.
He tried to get the Hamlin job and didn't.
Hamlin basketball job? Mm-hmm. I can't believe that because he's getting pretty good money from Glenn Taylor.
He made a lot of
Hamlin's job would pay about $5,000 a year.
Yes, alums get after it though. You never know what they're up to. Huh? How about Stanley Cup Finals? Playing out the way you like?
Not necessarily the way I like, but the way I would expect. I think that the LA Kings are the best team, quite frankly, in the league. And
where'd this offense come from?
Yeah,
My God.
You know what?
It's just scoring 5 goals a game.
You've been telling us it's all about goaltending in the playoffs for the last couple of years. Now you watch this finals. It's not that low.
No, it's anything but goaltending, really, to be honest with you. Henrik Lundqvist is the best goaltender, but if you're going to give the LA Kings 3 goals a night as they've scored the first 2, it's going to be awful difficult.
How many years
to beat
does
them.
Gaborik have left in him, seeing what you see this year?
This has been a renaissance for Marion. There's a lot of people that are, Marion is a very well-liked guy. He doesn't always get that, but he's going to get another excellent contract for at least 2 or 3 years.
Tying goal last night, that puck was laying there for about 1/8 of a second, and boom.
It didn't take much, and the luck is what happens to the guys that score like that. I mean, that puck was whacked 4 different ways, and it ended up right on his stick.
And William Mitchell's doing a good job for him, too, so they got 2 former Wild playing pretty good for Los Angeles.
Excellent. 37 years old. He's been tremendous.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
The Sports Show is brought to you in part by Canterbury Park 24/7 Card Club. Don't forget the Card Club at Canterbury Park. Cambria, makers of quality quartz surfaces. Ticket King, for the best price on tickets anywhere, try Ticket King. And Soundpoint Audiology, life is worth hearing.